Okay, so I guess we're live. It's always really awkward to start it like that, but welcome everybody. It's 12 o'clock, time for another webinar. Welcome to the Vibe Coding, Vibe Marketing, and Prompt Tips webinar today. We're going to talk about 3 different topics, and I'm pretty sure you're also here to get some prompting tips, so that's why we also added this in the session. And for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. And my name is Marta. My background is in e-commerce and in product management, and I've actually used AI to completely switch my career and do what I do right now, which is making AI content more accessible, especially for women. And I founded Ladies Built with AI to help women get into the AI world, teach them how to build with AI, how to use all of those amazing tools, and just basically stay on top of what is it that's happening out there. And the mission is very simple. Ladies Built with AI empower other women, not just to be in the world of consumers, so not just to consume that technology, but also to be the creators, to build and to actively shape this technology. And how cool is that to be able to say that you've built something actually with AI? And what we do, as you can see here in the pictures, because those are actually the pictures from last week, we did a session with 30 women on the beach. And those were all of the beginners that had no clue about coding. They have nothing to do with websites, products whatsoever. But there you go. We were talking about vibe coding. We were talking about Lovable in this case. And they don't have like a lot of time, a lot of different devices. But they have maybe their businesses, they have some ideas, maybe they want to do side hustles. So we just all flipped our phones and we thought, like, can we actually vibe code stuff on our phones? And yes, we did. Each of them now have their own personal websites, because that's usually what entrepreneurs need. They also need some online presence, and we just vibe coded it. So that's one of the examples what Ladies Built with AI do. I also offer online courses if you prefer to do this online. And the idea is that after 3 sessions, you're not only leaving with having more skills, knowing the tools, kind of being confident with how to vibe code, but also just really shipping something which is on your own, like your own website or your project or an app, whatever is it that you want to come into this course, you're actually going to ship it at the end of the session. So how cool is that? You can showcase it to your friends, to your family. Or maybe if you have like a job interview and you want to say, I actually have some AI skills, there you go, this is what I've built. This is what we do. And if you also feel that maybe that's really cool to do it in my team, where I work, in my company, also reach out, because I also organize workshops like that for teams. But today, we're going to talk about Cursor. So there are a lot of different tools out there. I'm pretty sure that some of you have already heard about tools like, well, obviously all the LLMs, but also things like Lovable, Cursor, maybe Bolt, or other tools, Base 44. But today it's time for Cursor, because it's really interesting to see for how many different use cases you can use even tools like that. And I also want to help you like demystify this idea of, oh my God, I only see code, this is not for me. Like, no, that's not the case. It's also for people that are non-technical. And I am really happy that we actually have a guest speaker today. We have Rogier Muller, who knows all the ins and outs of Cursor. So how cool is that we have someone who can actually talk about Cursor and can maybe share some of the tips, even for people that are non-technical, and we can learn from him. So I'm going to invite him to the room. There you go.
Hi, Marta. How are you?
Hello. So it's really, really cool to have you on the webinar. It's actually the first time that I have a guest speaker, so welcome.
Thank you.
And can you introduce yourself and also say, like, what is it that you do with Cursor?
Sure. My name is Rogier, as Marta already said. I'm the founder and CEO of a B2B enterprise software company, and I lead community events in Europe and mostly the Netherlands for Cursor. What that means is I organize hackathons, developer conferences, meetups, anything to get the word out to have people try Cursor and get inspired by it.
Cool. So you've been working with Cursor for a long time?
No, not that long. I would say close to a year now. The platform itself is just like with AI, of course, relatively new. And Cursor has been around for about 2.5, 3 years, ever since GPT 3.5 came out. That was the first real use case of Cursor. And yeah, it's only been getting more popular ever since.
Yeah, and I also, by the way, noticed that they switched, sorry, like their branding a little bit,
Yeah,
right? Like their website also changed.
yeah. The website changed, the branding changed. We got our own font now, Gothic, Cursor Gothic. So that's something
Okay,
as well. And yeah, lots of new things in the pipeline as well that you'll
cool.
be hearing from soon.
Cool. So I think I have two use cases. So the first one is probably people are like, what is Cursor? Like, I'm
Yeah,
not technical. I don't want to see code. I don't want to touch code. But then
yeah,
everything, like the moment you open it, it's pretty overwhelming. So
yeah.
like, can you say what Cursor is to that kind of audience, and also say like, maybe also tell us, is that actually a tool we should be using if we're non-technical at all?
Absolutely. Yeah. So Cursor is simply put just a way faster way to create, test, and deploy software. And it gives developers and non-developers a way to build their own applications. And it's basically a superpower, I could say. Even if you're non-technical, you can totally get started. It may look daunting the first time you see the code, but Cursor makes it pretty intuitive. If you open up the app, you see on the left-hand side, you see the file system. So all the files in your folder or code base, the code in the middle, and that's a little daunting. And in the right-hand side, you can see an AI agent, just as if you were, for example, using ChatGPT online. You can make this agent window the biggest by just sliding it to the left of your screen. And that way you can simply input what you want to build, what you want to see. You can even talk to it while you build. That's what I'm doing. I use Super Whisper for this, and it just allows me to talk with it with my voice and say what I want to accomplish that day or that session. Before AI-assisted coding, so like 3 years ago, developers only had the middle section, which is like the code editor in which you write the code. Most of you are probably familiar with something like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel. That's not a whole lot different than a code editor, really. But I genuinely believe that now that we have that agent, that it can change everything. So you talked about Lovable, for example. That's also one of these tools that has the agent on the left-hand side and just like your preview window, the largest part of your site, of your screen. Cursor isn't that different, other than that you see the code, but you can hide the code and just talk to the agent and say what you want. And it's only getting more intuitive from here. And there's this quote I love, and I've seen on X this week, so I'm going to read it out loud to you. Building software is only 10% about writing code and 90% about thinking what code to write, why you should write it, and how to do it well. You can delegate the code writing part to an LLM, large language model, but it's called vibe coding and not vibe thinking. So if you have a vision, you're creative, and you want to build something, the tools are making it easier than ever to do this. And I genuinely believe that Cursor, just as Lovable, they're all tools that work well, but you got to start with, what do I want to build? What do I envision? How do I want to make life easier? What kind of projects do I want to build? And if you really know what you need and what you want to build, just write it down, and the magic takes it from there. It's really, really intuitive.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, right, like using the right prompts, but in hindsight, it's about like being clear about what is that you want to achieve, right? And
Absolutely.
maybe also have to say like from A to Z how it needs to look like, but you have to be very specific on what sort of like outcomes, or at least what is it that you're after, right? Like what does it
Yeah.
have to do?
Yeah, true. But also the brainstorming part, if you're not really sure about what you want to build, you can also use Cursor or any LLM to start brainstorming, share your ideas, get input, and take it from there.
Yeah. So this is it's helpful. I like that you said like it's like Microsoft Docs or whatever kind of
Yeah,
like a tool I assume everybody uses because
yeah,
I don't know who has never seen Word or Google Docs, but so that's really very reassuring for people that are non-technical to kind of like break down this barrier.
yeah,
Because I have to say, the moment I started using Cursor, I was like, oh my God, this is not for me. What have I like jumped into? But it's really like a matter of using stuff, right? And
true.
also just allowing to trust the agent,
Mm,
because I know people can be just, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what, like, I see something like happening on the screen. They're like, some reds, some greens, some
yeah.
errors. And I think maybe you probably just have to like let it go, right?
In a way, you can. What you can also just tell the agent before you start is, I'm a complete beginner at this. Please take my hand and guide me through whatever you're going to do and what you have done. Maybe even make a markdown file or just like a document file and just explain what you did and why you did it. And that way you can, well, of course, trust the agent more, but also learn from it and be better at it, get more efficient, and just make it up as you go.
Yeah. So, okay, so we have one use case, and thanks for making it a little bit more like user friendly. And then the second use case is, that's where I struggle with, is I've used Cursor. I've actually started my whole vibe coding journey with Cursor, but now it's like, let's say a few months that I haven't really been in it, right? And
Yeah,
now a lot of things have happened in the meantime, and I'm just
yeah.
like, okay, where are we? What's new? And you said there are a lot of things in the pipeline. So maybe can you share for those people that are a little bit familiar with Cursor already, or maybe they've tried something, but
Yeah,
now it's like, okay, how can I like, get back to it?
absolutely. Yeah, so if you just open up Cursor again and you update it by going to the top bar and restarting to update, you'll notice a few new things.
Can I maybe
And
open it, by the way, because I have it.
yeah,
I actually want to show in a
sure.
second how I use
Share the
Cursor
screen.
for for vibe marketing, but
Yeah,
I can actually maybe just, it's probably easier if I
yeah, go for it.
demo it. Do you see my screen right
Yeah,
now?
maybe you can make it full screen.
Okay. You really have to, take me also by the hand at this one.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
will, no
been a
worries.
while for me. There you go.
Yeah, sure. So if you press the word cursor on the top bar, like
Yeah.
up top, there you can see restart to update, for example. You don't have to do it right now because it may take some more time, but that way
Yeah.
you get the newest features. And what I particularly like is that we have now added plan mode. So I'm not sure on what version you are, but if you go to the text agent window and the text inbox,
Yeah. So that's on the right-hand
the
side,
right hand
right?
side exactly, and you
I
go
have
where you input
to-
the text.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go there and you press Shift Tab.
Shift tab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No. So you haven't updated it in a while, and that's
No.
perfectly fine.
I told you.
That's perfectly fine. But
So you have to first update it. That's the first thing.
yeah, yeah, update it, and then you can use plan mode. And plan mode is one of the additions that is, well, the best in my opinion, and it lets you sketch out a clear plan before you start coding.
Okay.
So if you just build a prompt of something you want to see or you have an idea and you hit Shift Tab
Yeah.
and then you hit Enter, then it enters into a plan mode. And what
Okay.
that does is it sketches out a clear plan before you start coding. And it kind of makes like a project requirement document or a PRD together with
Yeah.
you. And that adds structure and guardrails to the whole process. And in that process, it's also asking you, how do you want this? Or how do you want that? Or should we think about this or that? And even if you're a beginner, you can just tell him
Mm-hmm.
and he'll explain to you what kind of options you have to be looking for the project that you want to build. And it's amazing to help you stay organized, especially if you're working on or more complex builds, whatever that is for you.
Yeah.
Um, One other thing that is new relatively are background agents.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if you have. Can you press the word agent in the text box below?
This one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh no, no, it's also not there. Then
No,
I
I
would
think,
advise you to update it,
yeah,
but
it's about
doesn't
time.
doesn't really matter. But what background agents are actually agents that work in the background. What's in the name, right? And it allows you to just, whenever you're not in Cursor or you're on your phone, for example, you can go into cursor.com and you can spin up a background agent. So most of my inspiration is actually not done while it's not coming when I'm behind the computer, but when I'm taking a walk or I'm on
Mhm,
vacation or whatever and don't have my computer with me, I can just spin up a background agent with a specific prompt, and it can build or make like a sketch of the project that I want to build. And when I'm back at the computer, I can start right away. And that's something that I really love as well. Another fun thing, and I do this every time a new model drops in Cursor. So for those who are not familiar, Cursor uses large language models,
mhm,
such as ChatGPT or Anthropic's Claude or Google's Gemini, whatever.
mhm,
Every time a new model drops in Cursor, I ask it to review my code base.
mhm, mhm,
So, for example, yesterday Claude Haiku 4.5 dropped.
mhm.
Not sure if you've noticed that, but it's a model of Anthropics and it's a pretty cheap model.
Yeah.
But I'm still blown away by how smart it is. And each time I select a new model, I'm blown away by how much smarter it's gotten. For instance, yeah, absolutely. Let me check. Yeah, then you
So
can
you
press
can also like switch which models you want to use in Cursor,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you go down, you press View All Models,
Yeah.
then you can see them all. And probably you'll see
Oh yeah.
Claude 4.5
Yeah.
Haiku there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just select it.
Yeah.
And then in the agent window, where you've now selected Auto, you can select,
Oh yeah, I can select
you turn off Auto,
yeah, so I need to turn it off and I can select
and
which
then
one.
you can select a specific one.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I love to do that because
Hmm.
every time a new model drops, you can view them like your colleagues, right? That's how I do it. They're your colleagues, and they're getting smarter, and they might see a problem or an inaccuracy that you haven't seen yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, Codex 5 High, it's like ChatGPT's specific code model,
Mm-hmm.
recently caught things in my code I hadn't even noticed for months. And it's really impressive how much it improves with each release, making
Nice.
your code more efficient, more beautiful, safer, more accurate, etc. And it's only getting better from here. So that's beautiful.
That's so nice. I mean, I'll just quickly show because I want to give one demo in a second about vibe marketing. So I already had some stuff like prepared, but I'll just quickly show like because you were saying how cursor looks like on the left hand side you have basically your
Yeah,
project right, like the whole structure.
yeah,
And you've got like your, so for example, I'm pulling off like my own website, Ladies Built with AI, like all the code is in there.
yeah,
All the like integrations and stuff, all the like, all the different files, the style sheets and things like that. But then
mhm,
I'm actually, if I'm, let's say, non-technical, because I can imagine people are just like, oh
yeah,
my God, I
absolutely.
can actually just use the agent, right? So I'm
Yeah,
just chatting to a colleague here
yeah,
and I don't even have to look at the code, right? Because
yeah.
I've already done some chats and right, it's just
True.
talking to an agent.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And
Cool.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Um,
Great.
so yeah, I would still advise you to update it
Yeah,
and
that's the first thing. Like update it.
update
Or
it.
make sure, like
Yeah,
download the recent version from Cursor, and then
yeah,
also you talked about the plan, right?
yeah.
So.
Plan mode and custom slash commands are also a hidden gem um, that I can show right now because you haven't updated it. But it's we can get to that later on. It's particularly useful if you're a beginner. So what you can do is, for example, in the agent window, hit slash forward slash, and then it can generate a custom slash command for you, and you can enter generate custom commands, and you can make, for example, a command called beginner, or beginning
Oh,
or help, something like that. And
oh yeah.
every time you hit that command, it will explain it to you as if you were a complete non-technical person.
Oh,
And
that's amazing.
that really helps if you, yeah, don't know where to start or don't know what's going on. And each time you hit that command, it will just explain it to you in words you do understand. So that's really helpful.
Great. So we have a question.
Hit it.
How can we reach out to you?
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
we're almost wrapping up this bit, but then again, like, where can we reach you?
sure.
What do you do, like, with the community? I know you have a great meetup coming up in December, but it's already sold out. So
Sadly,
where
it
can we
is. Yeah.
find
Well, I'm not really that much of like a social media type of person, but I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. I can share my LinkedIn in this chat, and you can always reach out to me with an email or whatever. But LinkedIn is probably the fastest. Oh
you?
wait,
Yeah,
this is
and we'll
not my
also make
chat.
sure that we will link you up in because this video will be also on YouTube, so it will be in the
Hmm.
description, and
Oh
I'll
yeah,
also post it on LinkedIn from Ladies Build with AI.
yeah, yeah. Let's do that because I'm trying to add it in the comments, but I have to
Yeah, we're
connect with
figuring out
Vicky.
this
I'm
tool.
sorry, but LinkedIn is probably best. Yeah,
Cool.
if you just search for my first name in combination with cursor, you're probably gonna find it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And you have a meetup coming up, so you have like more than 200 people coming?
yeah, there are 200 people on the wait list currently, but
Oh, wow.
I'm thinking about 160 to 180 people coming to the largest meetup in Amsterdam coming December 4th.
That's great.
And that's going to be amazing because it's going to be a full house packed with lots of developers and non-developers, designers, people wanting to get the most out of these tools. So that's really something. Yeah,
Yeah, amazing. So thank you so much for jumping on this one. I really appreciate that you actually had some good tips, and I really have to,
no
I'm so
worries.
embarrassed. I have to first update cursor.
Yeah, that's
I
definitely a
when
tip.
you're
Yeah,
doing stuff live. So thank you so much. And
no worries.
you're still free to stay in this webinar. I'll just now switch to a different topic, but I'll also
Cool,
use cursor. So
cool. Thank you so much, Marta.
thank you.
Have a
So
good one.
what I'm going to do right now, because we still have vibe marketing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are just like, what is vibe marketing, right? So we were talking about how LLMs can generate code, and we have a lot of great tools for doing vibe coding, but there's a lot right now in the media about vibe marketing. And what does that actually mean? And there are a lot of different definitions out there, and I found them a little bit confusing because it's a little bit more about the vibe and how, like, the state you're in if you're a marketing specialist. But it's, in essence, it's just about how to be a better marketer, how to actually leverage that intelligence, that whether it's the automation bit or the agents or vibe coding your own tools to be a better marketeer, in order to achieve your goals, to either scale marketing, to be more creative, or just really focus on things that a marketeer can do, like create a better storytelling or create more meaningful relationships with people. Whilst all those repetitive things that marketeers do, you can just kind of outsource it to AI. That's how I would call like marketing. And I really, really am a fan of this girl on LinkedIn. And I feel like these days there's so much information out there. You can follow Salesforce or Canva or any kind of other marketing tool, but I believe that the best people to follow are the ones that are really in the trenches, really the marketeers that are out there and doing stuff. And she's probably one of those examples that really use the tools. She gives really interesting insights, and I found it mind-blowing for me, as in my background marketing, to understand how much is now possible with vibe marketing. So I have also a couple of use cases for a marketeer who does a lot of different things. They wear a lot of different hats, and how can we leverage those tools? And those are just 4 examples. I have videos connected to those examples, and if you actually want to listen to them and to see how tools are, which sort of tools are being used, I'm going to send you those slides afterwards, and you can just click on those examples and you'll see either it's a video or a GitHub repository or some kind of other file. It's super inspiring. And like here, for example, whether you're dealing with paid social ads, so you're using maybe like competitor research to understand what sort of copies are there that I can use for my ads, or what are competitors like showing in terms of the creatives. A lot of those things are repetitive, manual. You have to like maybe just check it every single time what competitors are doing. So Sandra actually, she built her own tool to be able to scrape those libraries and to gather everything in one piece. And instead of going to LinkedIn or to Twitter or to Facebook, she just gathered everything in her own tool and used that information. So all the copies and visuals from competitor ads, use this to fuel kind of like generation of new copies for the company she was working for. So she already saved a lot of time for those kind of things. But then you can also think about, how can I leverage the newest video models like Sora 2 or VO3 from Google to create cinema quality videos for your socials or for any kind of product campaigns or launches, without paying a lot of money to agencies or videographers or whatever. Those things are really happening right now. Also, I love the case of a product manager from Monday.com who just scrapes Reddit. Reddit is, it's overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff happening on Reddit, and people also comment a lot on products, or they share their recommendations or whatever, their opinions. And he actually built his own scraper with Claude to understand what people were talking about Monday.com. So it's a great source of like customer feedback. Instead of you going to every single subreddit, I mean, this is just already like a full-time job to even be in Reddit. And if you don't have a lot of people to help you out, resources, or maybe you're just on your own, this is super helpful to build those kind of little agents and tools to help you just accelerate. And you can learn a lot from this too. I want to show you one case today, actually in Cursor. It's related to SEO. So pretty much everybody that has an online business, I also have my own website, and I want to make sure that it's visible for particular phrases or people that might be interested. But how to do it, right? So I could either hire an SEO agency. I could also spend a lot of time doing this, figuring that myself. But I thought, like, can I actually leverage tools like Claude or Cursor? And their MCPs and integrations to actually have like my little SEO agency next to me. So me as a solopreneur can really focus on other things, whilst my SEO is kind of, like running in the background. So I'm going to demo the flow that I found really interesting in Cursor. That's why I already had some stuff prepared before this call. But my idea was, okay, I have my website and I want to target women. I want to show clear messaging that I offer courses in AI and inspire women to build with AI. How can I be found on those kind of topics? So, starting point is pretty much with everything always going to ChatGPT, or in this case, I always start in Claude. I just love using Claude. And I ask that, like, it's just this place where you can add also very simple, dumb questions. Like here in this case, I've asked, so can you give me 3 good use cases of how I can use Cursor to try vibe marketing? And I want to increase the visibility of my website. I want this to be visible on Google and also be searchable in LLMs. So just, the whole SEO thing. And can you just give me use cases for how I can leverage Cursor to do that, right? So Claude came with some pretty interesting use cases, like, creating landing pages, backlinking, all that kind of good SEO stuff. But I actually found one use case really interesting, building a library of different resources around AI. So by having this library on my website, people could actually find me, because I have more content right now which is indexable and searchable and also findable in LLMs. So I thought, okay, that's an interesting topic. I want to use Cursor for this particular use case, so the resource library. And can you just give me a plan of how to achieve it? So like really step by step, can you just show me how I can do that? And it already started obviously generating the plan. Amazing, amazing. But then I thought, hey, I also have something to add. So I just quickly edited my prompt, because I heard a lot recently about the MCPs. So for those of you who don't know what an MCP is, it's called Model Context Protocol. So it's kind of like, let's say, linking pin between your LLM and all other external apps. So it's called, there's like context as the letter C in it, because it, by linking all those external apps and giving it to AI, it gives also context. So it allows LLM to be also smarter, because you're like plugging in all those different external things. And so your LLM becomes smarter and can also do more tasks for you. So I thought, hey, that's an interesting concept. And can I use it in my SEO quest, basically? So instead of me going to like 50 different SEO tools, can I just use Cursor as just one destination for my SEO activities? So I just changed the prompt a little bit, and I was like, okay, can you just also add MCPs in the Cursor? And again, show me a plan how to achieve it. And to be honest, it just all starts from there. Like you get all instructions, what you have to do. So in this case, I'm just following the instructions, and it tells me in Cursor to plug in the relevant MCP servers that I would need for my SEO. So the first step is I want to research competitors and similar websites to what Ladies Built with AI do. And I want to just know, like, okay, what are the keywords that they talk about? What makes them rank very well? I want to get all of this competitor research, let's say, which is really important for SEO. I just want to gather this in Cursor. Like, I just want to give AI in Cursor like more knowledge about, hey, this is what's happening all out there that competitors are doing. So I want to have this from one place. So it tells me to add the MCP, and I need those particular MCPs for SEO research. So you could think, oh my God, how do I do this? Well, again, if you follow the instructions, it's actually pretty simple. You're getting just a little piece of code that you can just straight on copy from here. And if you go to Cursor, you can go to settings, and again, tools and integrations. And here I already have it enabled, but if you would enable this from the start, you would just add this piece of code to here. And Claude also says that I need an API key for Brave Search. So I had no idea what Brave Search was. So again, I ask a question like, why do I need to do this? And how do I need to do this? So Brave Search is like an alternative to Google, like another browser, another search engine. And there are accounts that you can create, and you can create your API key for free. So in this case, I'm plugging to, let's say, a competitor of Google, and I'm telling this this agent to browse everything around the topic of AI courses that my competitors are doing, and gather all this intelligence in a file, for example, so I can store it in my project in Cursor. So I am right now like creating an account on Brave Search. I have a free account. I can also generate an API key, which I generated here. And I just follow the instructions. Like I've had this piece of code, adding it in Cursor. I added the API key, which I don't want to show that much because it's also a secret key. And then what I'm doing is I'm using the agent mode, so I can maybe make it a little bit bigger. And already had this here, like I already had this prompt. So I am asking the agent in Cursor once the MCPs have been added in Cursor, I'm asking Cursor, can you, based on the MCP from Brave Search, can you find me top 10 ranking pages for those particular keywords? The funny thing is also, like, I didn't tell Claude, so here at the very beginning, I didn't tell Claude, like, I want to rank on those particular keywords. Can you make a plan on how I have to do that? Like, I just said, this is my website and I want to be visible on Google. And yet Claude already figured out what kind of keywords would be suitable to the business that I have and to the website that I have. So that's already something really cool. Like, I don't need to do that stuff. So it suggested as a prompt for the agent and Cursor, find the top 10 ranking pages for those keywords. So me, myself, I don't need to go to a search engine, type in those phrases and make a list of 10 ranking pages. Like, I get everything here in Cursor. And not only that, like, for each result, I also want to do a little bit of research, like, what is it that they have on their websites? How do they structure their content? What makes them rank well, which is really cool also. And what's missing that we could also add to Ladies Built with AI. So this is like research on steroids. And I don't have to like go for every phrase and do all of that stuff myself. The agent is doing this for me because I'm like linking the MCP from Brave browser into here. So it just does all of that stuff here. And I get so much information. Like, I get, for every phrase that I asked, I get the top websites. And also after like every website, I get to see the things like, you know, the type of resources. So they have, for example, quick commentaries or short pics or a short list of summaries. What's the structure? They have like lists or what makes them rank well. They're very recent, they're focused, they have a focus scope. Or like here, for example, the ranking, they have high domain authority, fresh 2025 angle, clear free AI tool intent match. So you might think like, okay, of course, if you want to rank well, you need to have high domain authority. Like, those things are very obvious to people that have done something with SEO. But if you have never really worked in SEO, or you have just outsourced everything before and now you have to do it yourself, those are very like really good insights that you now just get with this model. So just going to show you one other example of what I've done, because it's great that I have all of this insights, but Claude has also told me to do a little bit of keywords research. So this one, I want to show you this step. So now I've researched the top competitor sites, and I'm asking now to research long tail keywords related to the phrases that I wanted to rank on. And what I'm going to do is ask the agent to create the list of keywords that are related to phrases, and also save all of those findings. So not just like give me a list of keywords, I just actually want to have it like stored nicely in a file in my Cursor project. So I'm going to actually do that right now live. And again, I have to update Cursor, I know that. But let's see how far we can get with this one. So after it's done all of this research, I'm adding it in the agent mode. I'm just pressing enter, and oh, I need to also make sure I have the auto on right now, because before I used to, I just selected the new model from Anthropic. So let's see if I can actually do this. I am telling the agent in Cursor to do this keyword analysis from Brave browser, because I've just linked to Brave Search MCP, and it's going to do all of this analysis for me, and it's also hopefully going to create a file. Sometimes I also need to approve certain actions. That's just how working with agents work. And if everything goes according to the instructions, at least that's what Claude was saying to do, I should be able to have this file here in my project where my entire code of my website sits in. So you might be thinking like, why are you doing this, right? I want to give you like a snapshot of how this workflow would work otherwise. I will just go into Google, do this research manually. I will probably spend a whole week on this. I would have probably some kind of a Google Doc or a spreadsheet with all my findings. And then I would go to, for example, ChatGPT, and I'll say, okay, those are my findings. Can you help me with writing a good copy? Or can you, so I need to also sometimes just answer to the commands. Like I would, for example, go to ChatGPT and say like, okay, those are the findings. Can you write like 10 times more landing pages on all those insights, or create a better copy for my homepage, or optimize the page titles and metadata for my SEO for all of the pages that I have. And then once I get the input from ChatGPT, I would then like go to my code and I would like change the copy or create new landing pages in my code. So it already, because I'm doing this all in Cursor, I'm already like eliminating a lot of those steps, because if I get the findings and the keywords, for example, in a file, which is, if everything is well here, it's supposed to be here. So I have a, there you go, it created a file. There you go. Hopefully you can see this in the webinar, but like it created a file with all long tail keywords that I've asked for, and I have it here. So my next step will be just, okay, I will then tell the agent to, for example, rewrite all the meta description for all the pages that I have in my code. So all the pages that I have on my website. Can you just keep in mind the long tail keywords that are in this file, like I'm referencing this file, just rewrite it according to those instructions. So then I'll have all of the meta descriptions of all the pages in my website. They will be rewritten with those keywords. And I don't even have to like copy and paste them into the prompt. I'm just basically saying, okay, there you go. Here's the file. Just go and read it. Those are the pages in on my website, and those are all the meta descriptions, and just basically rewrite it and just take out those long tail keywords. So that already saved me lots and lots of time, and I'm actually pretty amazed that I can do this from one interface, which is Cursor, which I would never think that that's a place to do my SEO stuff. But there you go. Apparently I can do that as a completely non-technical person. So that just goes to show that a lot of those things are really, really happening and really possible. And again, this is vibe marketing for you guys. So if you feel inspired and you feel like, oh, this is really interesting, there are a lot of resources out there, and I can imagine that for some of you it could be really overwhelming, and you might think like, where do I have to start? If you're on this stage when you're like, okay, I have no clue what you were just talking about, I would suggest go to ChatGPT, and they actually have prompts for every single profession. They're very basic, that I have to say. So I'll show you how it looks like. For example, for marketing, it's again for every profession. So in this case, it's marketing, but they have a lot of different kind of ready-to-use prompts based on whatever task that you need to do as a marketeer. And it's a really good step one to just kind of practice and see how far you can take it. But again, I'm saying it's pretty basic. So if you feel like you actually want to do more, then I'll show you another thing, which is going into automation. Like, why don't you look at any kind of flow that you're doing as a marketeer and maybe try to automate that flow. So, for example, N8N, it's really helpful because they already have a ready database of different templates. So, for example, here, if you go to N8N and you just select which kind of department you're from, you can already see they have lots and lots of different templates. Like in marketing, there's a lot about right now about video content, so content creation, how to use the new models like Nano Banana, and just create lots and lots of different images for your socials, for example, or maybe like even product images for your e-commerce site, market research, a lot of different use cases, and they have many different templates. And the good thing about templates is that you don't have to even understand how to build those things. I mean, this one is that you have to buy, but for example, things like, let's take this one, like a lot of those templates are actually for free and you don't have to rebuild it from scratch. Like you just paste it in your project and you either add your credentials or you just customize it to your website or to your tool, whatever. But like you're already way faster with those templates rather than figuring out how to build it on your own. So that's step 2. And if you actually feel like you've been there too, and now you actually crave a little bit more, this guy, I'm switching between the windows, I'm sorry for that, but like this guy, Greg Eisenberg, he shares a lot of content on startup ideas, how to be just like smarter, how to also have a good side hustle and earn money. And even if there are like some new tools happening, like there's maybe Sora 2 right now, which is in the US, it's not in Europe yet. He already just reviews it, he gives examples. So it's actually easier to just see how people use those tools and kind of see like, okay, I could use it in that use case or apply it to that flow or whatever. So really nice to see that there's a lot of content out there that you can follow. So that was vibe marketing. And there's another bit, the last bit, which is about prompting. And I also want to keep it short because there are so many prompt tips out there. And the things that I see from Ladies Build with AI sessions that come very often are those 3 things. So the first thing, it's more about the mindset, let's say. It's like, if you're trying to get something, whether it's an image or a video, or you just build something with AI, you have to understand that you will never really get it perfect in one shot. And it's about this mindset of it's a kind of back and forth, and you can spend hours on creating amazing prompt, and then you put it out there, and then you just get a result which is not quite what you wanted. Like that's it. Like this is just working with AI, and it's not about being perfect and getting the perfect output. It's really about the learning bit and also understanding that how to, like what Walter here also said in beginning, like how to say, how to be clear, how to explain what is it that you're after. So expect retries and be fine with that. You'll get there, but it's not like a one-shot thing. Then we have number 2, which is break it down. You can absolutely create the prompt with everything from A to Z. If you want to build a website and you have like a full-blown instruction of how it needs to look like, but what you're risking at this point is you're overloading it. So like I've seen this also on socials, people are talking about polluting the prompt. So you're just giving so much instruction that LLM not only is confused, but also because it wants to kind of impress you and do the best job possible, because that's what they're being trained for. They have to like come up with the best result. They will start to do things that are not completely okay, or like hallucinate, just because they want to like hit their goal, right? But if you've been giving like so many instructions, you also sometimes are just like, okay, do I do this or do I do that, right? So really working step by step is really crucial. And if you're, for example, building a site or a product, like just really take it feature by feature, or for example, just focus on things like perfecting the font or the colors or a particular functionality, rather than just spit out everything and then hopefully you'll get everything in one go. So that's 2. And then number 3 is if you're working on something and you want to like edit it. So let's say you have this one picture and it's not quite there, like you want to tweak it. What I found happens very often, like you ask to tweak one thing and then it just completely regenerates everything. So even just saying like, hey, keep everything else as is, but just focus on this one little bit, like that really helps, because otherwise, even if it's, for example, a product that you're building and there's this one thing that you want to add or you want to remove or you want to change, it can be that your entire code will be rewritten if you just don't say like keep everything as is. At least we've run into those issues before, so it could help. So, it's been a lot today, and we've again shared a lot of different insights, and you might be thinking, okay, where do I start and what's my first step? There are a lot of resources out there. It's up to you what sort of resource, channel, person, language, I don't know, fits you. So just make sure you really follow one source. Even this week, just subscribe to a newsletter, or like follow somebody on YouTube or whatever, or attend a meetup to learn a new AI concept. So I, for example, was talking about MCPs. You might be thinking, what is MCP? Like, we have to go through it again. Follow somebody or follow a source that explains this concept so you can actually start doing it yourself. It's not so difficult, I can tell you. The second thing is think about like the task you're doing or maybe your work. Is there anything, even something small, that you can just completely rebuild it with AI? Why not? If it's for personal reasons or at work, is there something that I can do smarter? Like for me, I have no time for SEO, and I know it's really, really important to be visible. So I just kind of outsourced it in that way as I was just demoing it. And number 3, if you're really in for the challenge, like just sign up for any of the tools out there and start vibe coding and really create your AI project, even if it's just for a hobby or something like fun, maybe you organize a trip or whatever, and you maybe just want to digitalize, the notes and the spreadsheets and everything, and kind of have it in a little app or something. Why not vibe code it? It's already better than just listening, me talking. So just really get into the trenches. And if you still feel like you're stuck and you want to do this, but you maybe need a little bit more help, go and check out ladiesbuildwithai.com, because we do this stuff. Like, we have a course and we just immediately go straight into building. I can talk a lot, but it's better if you come in with your idea or whatever kind of dream that you have, or maybe a particular use case, and we'll just work on it. So those are the courses. And for today, there were a lot of different examples. And if you want to get those slides so you can actually click on the links and see them, sign up to the newsletter, because then I have your email so I can email you those slides. It's ladiesbuildwithai.com/newsletter. And you should see that screen. And if you're doing this as we speak, you should be able to see the slides in your inbox right now. So then you are off to, accessing those resources and hopefully experimenting yourself. And for now, we have a few more minutes for Q&A. By the way, if somebody wants to post a question, you actually have to be logged in with YouTube. So you can actually log in very quickly, refresh, I'm still here, and then you should be able to post a question in the live Q&A box. So if you have a question about this session, maybe you want to ask something about Cursor, now is your time. And again, if you cannot do that, you have to be logged in with YouTube. Otherwise, you will not be able to, I think, even see this chat screen. So again, just quickly log in, refresh the site or an app. I don't know where you're watching this. And you should be able to post a question. And if you still maybe just need to process everything that we shared today, that's fine. You can reach me at on LinkedIn, I would say. That's probably where I'm most visible. Post like also like your comment, or even if you're here on YouTube, you can comment underneath this YouTube afterwards, or just DM me as well. I have an email address on my website. I don't see any questions for today. We had one for Rogier, and he said already, like, if you want to reach out to Rogier, he's mainly on LinkedIn. He also has his meetups from Cursor, really cool to check them out. And for now, I actually want to thank you all for staying and for listening. Again, if you want to see the slides, fill in your email address on ladiesbuildwithai.com/newsletter. And I'll probably see you next month, and we'll have probably a new dose of tools and tips and news, because everything happens so fast. I actually have one comment. I'll just quickly showcase it. We'll try to build a scraper. It looks difficult. Try it. I mean, again, my advice is start with ChatGPT, with Claude, whatever LLM you're using. It's like they will not judge you. Like, you can just really ask stupid questions if you feel like, I don't know what to do. It looks difficult. And even what Rogier said, there's even a command in Cursor, beginner/beginner. So apparently if you like put on beginner mode, you should be able to get some help. So don't be afraid, just do it, just try how far you get, and I'm sure that you'll be already like richer in terms of experience and knowledge. So good luck with that. Thank you so much all, and enjoy the rest of your day.